We've covered all of the material. We will review today or this week and next week. Well, part of next week. We have class Monday and Wednesday, and then Thursday is a no work day or no class day. And then Friday, I have a final, but your final, let's see, if you go under as you learn under dates, the in-class portion of the final is May 2nd from 11 to 1:30. So next week we have class on Monday and Wednesday, and then finals start on Friday. But our final is Friday, May 2nd from 11:30 to 1:30. So it's not our regularly scheduled time, but it's Friday, May 2nd. The take-home portion is due Wednesday, May 4th. So I'll probably put it up next Monday, and then it will be due on the 4th. Any questions? So the in-class portion is Friday, May 2nd from 11 to 1:30. I also have a final on let's look it up and make sure when it is. Oh, I have it written. Come on. Okay, so this is for my other class. Their final is Friday, April 29th. So if you would like to take it early, it's from 2 to 4:30. You can do that also. If neither works because of work or you have too many exams on the same day, just get with me. But this is my other class. Any questions? The in-class portion, there's 12 problems, and the take-home portion has 10. We'll go over the in-class problems this week, and then you'll have the take-home to look at, and then wherever you have questions, let me know. But what I did was I made a sheet. I guess I could post it. Instead of just saying like this, exam 1, the in-class portion, number 5. But instead of having to flip through all the papers, I put all the questions on one. So I guess I could. After class, I'll put them up on As You Learn. So from exam 1 in class, number 5, sales figures show that the demand function is 60p plus Q equal to 260, where P is profit from selling Q magnolia plants. And supply is 80p minus Q equals 90. We want to find the equilibrium point. Point means you want X and Y, or in this case, the quantity and the price. So we want to find where these two intersect. One way is substitution. If one was solved for one variable, you could substitute it into the other. Another way would be elimination. May 2nd is a Monday. Yes. Did I say something different? Did I have it written different? Oh, I must not have changed. My other class is this Friday. This is Monday. Sorry about that. And then this is due on Wednesday. Thank you. I think I just copied and pasted and changed the date but not the day. So your class 114, your final is Monday, May 2nd from 11 to 1:30. Any questions? Thank you for catching that.
I'm assuming if we like finish early, we're allowed to leave this exam.
Yes, during the final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What you'll do is you'll get up on WebEx just like any other exam, and then when you finish it, you'll submit.
And when is the last date we can do the like math labs? It's just
An
for the holiday.
hour, but technically 12 questions shouldn't take more than an hour. Any questions? Okay. Um, so you could use substitution, but the way it's set up, notice elimination, when we add down, the Q's would drop out. So I would use elimination. It all depends on how it's solved, set up. If it's set for one variable, then substitution. In this case, adding down the Q's would drop out. 80 and 60 is 140, 350. Any questions so far? So I used elimination by adding down the Q's dropped out and solving for P, we would divide by the 140. Since we are talking about P is price, a decimal's fine, 2.5. When you're finding the equilibrium point, we also need to find Q. You can plug it into either equation. I'm going to use the top one. I used the top because the Q was positive, and so then just a little one less step. 60 times 2.5 is 150. Subtract the 150. The reason the equilibrium point is important when we sell 110, well, if the price of a magnolia plant is $2.50, we will sell 110 of them. And we will sell all of them. At different prices, we will sell, like if we raise the price, we're going to sell less. And we may not sell everything. If we lower the price, we will sell more of them, but then more people will want them. So at an equilibrium point, both people are happy. The sales and the people who are purchasing it. But any questions on the equilibrium point? The take-home portion of exam 1, number 8. For each state, if it is or is not a function, and explain why. So if we look at a circle, is a circle a function? Anyone? Remember, a function, you use the horizontal line test. If it hits it more than one spot, exactly, a circle is not a function. Because if we draw a circle, and it looks, we want what horizontal? Horizontal's for 1 to 1. It's a vertical line. So if we take a circle and draw vertical lines, we can hit it in more than one spot, so it's not a function. How about y equals 3x plus 2? Is it a function? Yeah, it's a function because it's a straight line. This is linear, y equals mx plus b. It's positive, so this would be a line going like this. And we can draw a lot of vertical lines. So this would be a function. How about x equals 3? Is it a function? What type of line is x equals 3? X equals 3 is a vertical line, which then would fail the vertical line test because if I drew a vertical line, I would hit every single point on the line. So it is not a function. Any questions on C? How about a parabola? Is it a function? Parabola looks like this, either going up or down. Will it pass a vertical line test? It will pass because these are not going straight up. They're going slowly at an angle. So it will pass the vertical line test. It is a function. How about y equals -6? X equals a number is a vertical line, so y equals a number is a horizontal line. Will it pass a vertical line test? Yes. So the only linear line or straight line that would not be a function is a vertical line. All other straight lines, the straight lines are B, C, and E, will pass. Any questions on that? Any questions on a function? Exam 2, the in-class portion, 1, 4, and 6. So number 1. A cost to transport a mobile home depends on the distance in miles. One firm charges are shown in the graph below. Answer the questions that follow. You know what, go ahead and try this one, and then we'll go over it. When you find the first part, where is the function discontinuous? Privately type it into the chat. And I will give you, for answering questions, up to 5 points on the final. Okay, now remember, it could be discontinuous in more than one spot. Where it's discontinuous, it should always be the X values. And as you're tracing it, if you need to lift your pencil or it has an open circle, that's where it's discontinuous. So as we're tracing here, the first spot where it's discontinuous is right here at 150. And then we can trace, and then it jumps again here at 400. So it was discontinuous at 150 and 400. That's where prices can increase or drop. Those are where you want to check your bulk supplies and things like that. So any questions on why it's 150 and 400? And if you're trying to answer, even if it's wrong, you're still going to get credit. So, and it's private, so no one else sees it. Any questions on that part? Okay, so since there's a break at 150, we're going to look at 150. So we want to find the limit as x approaches 150 from the right. Does anyone have an answer? Three? Yes. So if we go to 150 and we go a little bit to the right, that means a little larger. We go up the lines here. So the cost per mile is 3. So 150, this plus means from the right. So we go on the right side, it's here at 3. Any questions on that part? Okay, what's the answer for the limit as x approaches 150 from the left? Yes, 4. We go 150 from the left would be this side. Our line's up here at 4. Any questions on that part? Now, when we're looking for this one, it's not from the right or the left. Both of these need to be coming in from the same side, but notice how they're coming in at different sides. When they're not coming in together, if these two are not equal, this one does not exist. Any questions on that part? This one is the shaded in point. So what is f of 150? Anyone? 4. Our shaded in point at 150 is right here at 4. Any questions on that? Okay. Let's try just to make sure, since it's also discontinuous at 400, find the limit as x approaches 400 from the right. The limit as x approaches 400 from the left. Limit as x approaches 400. And f of 400. So let's find these three. Then we'll do the last part. Okay. One person has it. If you do have the answers, go ahead and type just right in order. I'll give you like 2 more minutes. Anyone else want to type in the answers? Okay. The limit as x approaches 400 from the right. You could think of a dotted line being here. So then at 400, that plus means on the right, a little larger. We're on this side. And the y value is 2.5. So all these answers are y values if they exist. And this one is 2.5. Because when I go a little bit bigger than the 400, I'm here at 2.5. A little bit smaller than 400 from the left would be this side. My graph's here at 3. Since these two are not equal, this one does not exist. Any questions so far? Okay. F of 400, that's your shaded in point. So if we go where 400 is and find the point, it's here. The y value, 3. So you'll see one like this on the in-class portion. Is there any question? We're going to do that last part of the question, but any questions on that part? Okay. It says, A customer needs to move their mobile home 150 miles. How much will it cost them? And then how can you save them money? So if they go 150 miles, how much does it cost per mile? Well, that's your shaded in point. So if it's 150, it costs $4 a mile. So to go 150 miles, it would cost $600. How could we save them money? They're going 150 miles, it's at 4. Notice if they go one more mile, the price drops. So tell them to go around the block or drive one more mile, and then they'll only be paying $3. So if they go one more mile, they go 151, it's only $3 per mile. Oh, there it is. So if they go 151 miles, it's only costing them $453, which saves them $147. So you'd tell them to drive an extra mile. Any questions on that? Suppose the total profit in thousands of dollars from selling X boxes of Oculus 2 is given by P of X equals 2x squared minus 6x plus 9. Thousands. Okay, so profits in thousands. Find the average rate of change from 100 to 200. Remember, average rate of change is your slope. So we need 2 points, and we're going from 100 to 200. So plugging in 100 would be 2 times 100 squared minus 6 times 100 plus 9. And this would be 200. So when you plug this in, I guess that's right. 2 times 100. Any questions on getting the Y values? So now I have my 2 points. Average rate of change. Y1 minus Y2 over X1 minus X2. We get 594. Any questions on getting the value? Y squared minus Y. Oh, okay. It will be the same either way. For your slope, you could put y1 and x1 or y2 and x2. If we subtracted these in the opposite order, we are still going to get 594. So it can go either way. What you need to make sure is if you do y1 first, you have to do x1 first. And if you do y2 first, you have to do x2 first. But as long as you do that, then you'll get the same answer. Any questions on that? Now to explain it, we're going from 100 to 200 for X. X is boxes of the Oculus 2. When selling. So we're already selling 100 boxes. When selling 100 boxes and increase, pencil's not writing nice, to 200 boxes, the profit total profit will increase by, now profit was in thousands, so we'd multiply this by 1,000. So if we were selling 100 boxes and we increased that and sold 200 boxes, we would increase our profit by $594,000. So average rate of change tells you if you're at the one point, if you increase to the next one, how much your Y value increases. Any questions on that? So average rate of change, you start with the first, they give us 100. We're going to 200. So if your sales group was selling 100, if you tell them, well, if we could get to 200, we're going to make 594,000 more dollars, and we'll give you each $500, then you could get them to sell more. Is there any questions on that part? Part B said, find the marginal profit at X equals 100. Marginal profit. Well, we did learn a long way of doing it. The limit is h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x. And that's probably how we did it on this exam, because I don't think we learned derivatives yet. But now you can do it using the derivative. So marginal profit is just the derivative. So we take the derivative, 2 times 2 is 4, x to the first. 1 times a negative 6 is a negative 6, x to the 0 drops, and a constant is also 0. So this is marginal profit. And we want the marginal profit at 100. $394. So marginal profit, instantaneous. You can use the derivative now. You don't have to use the long form. Any questions on that part? Now, marginal profit tells you if you went one more. So you're selling 100 boxes of the Oculus. 2, if you sell one more box, the 101st box will increase profit by, and then remember this was in thousands, $394,000. Any questions on that? So you'll definitely see one like this where I make sure you understand slope and marginal profit. Any questions? Number 6. The total cost in dollars for manufacturing X App State shirts is this. Find the average cost function. How do we find the average cost function? Anyone? Remember, it has a line over it. Average cost function, you either divide by X or you multiply by 1 over X. Since this is just a polynomial, I would divide by X. One way of remembering, when you're finding the average, you combine everything and divide by how many there are. X is how many there are. So the average cost function is 11,000 plus 3x over x. That's your average cost function. Any questions on it? When you're taking the limit to infinity and you have a fraction, remember you take the degree of the top and the bottom and compare them. So in this one, The degree is your largest exponent. So in both cases, top and bottom, they're both a 1. So the degree on the top and the bottom is a 1. When the degree of the top and the bottom is the same, you take those two largest degree terms and reduce them. So the limit as x goes to infinity of the average cost function is 3. Any questions on that part? What that tells you is x is getting large, and x is the number of App State t-shirts. As many t-shirts are produced and sold, or just produced because it's cost, the average cost is $3 a shirt. So we're talking about selling an infinitely large amount of them. 10 isn't enough, but if you talk about 1,000,000, you should be able to get them for $3 each. So the more you produce, the lower this will go, but it won't go past 3. Any questions on that? Positive. Find the marginal average cost. Marginal means derivative, average cost means this one. So I want to take the derivative of it. Remember, it's bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom all over the bottom squared. Using this, bottom times the derivative of the top is just 3 minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. And the derivative of x is just 1 all over the bottom squared. Any questions on that part? Now if I do ask for a derivative, you don't have to simplify it unless you want to. I mean, this one simplifies pretty nice, and we will simplify it. But if you leave it like this, you can plug in for x written as it is. Because we want to find the average cost at 250 and the derivative one. So I'm going to simplify this. We'd have 3x distributing. We have a negative 11,000 minus 3x. 3x's cancel. Okay. We want to find these two. So average cost, that's this one. 11,000 plus 3 times 250 divided by 250. And the other one, we're plugging into here. I'll use this one. Any questions on the values? I want to make sure I didn't write it down. Cost was in dollars. So I'm going to round this to because it's in dollars. This one, average cost is saying when we sell or produce, because it's cost you're producing. When we produce 250 of them, they're going to cost $47 each. Did it say what X was? T-shirts. So it's giving you the cost per shirt. If we're producing 250 of them, it's going to cost $47 each. This one's telling the rate of change. We're doing 250 if we did one more. Producing the 251st shirt will, this is negative, so decrease the cost by 18 cents per shirt. Because we're working with average cost, it would be per shirt. So producing 250 shirts, it'll cost 47 each. That's what the average cost. It tells you per item rather than total. Producing one more, because that's what rate of change tells you. We want one more. It will decrease the cost because it's negative by 18 cents per shirt because this was average. Any questions on that? Oh, any questions on that one?